question is that the bill be now read a second time. Mr. Louis Ng.
Madam, this bill introduces a wide array of reforms meant to update our income tax policies and provide necessary financial support to our economy. I thank the Ministry for doing a public consultation for this bill in June 2021 and for publishing in September 2021 its response to feedback received. Indeed, several pieces of feedback were accepted and we see their imprint in today's bill. I hope MOF will continue this good practice of holding public consultations and accepting productive feedback. Madam, I have 3 points of clarifications to make. My first point is about tax deduction for donations. Singaporeans should donate to social and community causes. To encourage this, the government is providing tax deductions for qualifying donations up until the end of 2021. This bill extends the end date of the scheme by 2 years. I thank the Ministry for this. However, I would like to raise questions about one kind of recipient, donor advised funds, or DAFs. To my understanding, donations to DAFs are eligible for income tax deduction if the DAF is designated to offer grants to IPCs. DAFs has become more popular around the world. From 2015 to 2019, donations to DAFs have risen by 110% in the UK and 80% in the US. With this growth, lawmakers and experts have criticized the rise of DAF-related zombie philanthropy. This is a trend where DAFs hold on to donations indefinitely and fail to disperse them to charities. The government loses tax income immediately due to tax deduction, while society benefits only belatedly as donations sit untouched for a long time. On this point, I would like to raise 3 questions. First, can Minister share what is the yearly dollar amount of income tax deduction linked with donation to DAFs for each of the past 5 years? Second, can Minister share what information is typically requested under Section 37, subsection 3B of the Income Tax Act? In particular, what information has it previously requested when an individual attempts to claim tax deduction using donations to a DAF? Third, can the Ministry share how does the government proactively guard against the problem where donors claim tax deduction for donations to DAFs, while the DAFs fail to disperse funds to the IPC in a timely manner? I know DAFs are meant to encourage charitable giving, and I have no broad concerns with their existence. However, there may be room for stronger tax rules on DAFs that tie the incidence of tax deduction with the distribution of the funds. Such rules will promote stronger governance of intermediary charity groups and promise more timely benefits for society. My second point today is about data secrecy. The bill empowers IRAS to offer people access to highly confidential government data for the records of auditing the administration of public schemes, such as of IRAS IT systems. Such people can copy government records for conducting their audits. While these amendments may help IRAS undertake vital audits, I'm concerned that it may not promise sufficient safeguards for data secrecy. On this, I have 2 questions on the topic of access for the Minister's clarification. First, excessive scope. What scenarios fall within and outside the purpose of the audit? Would it be reasonable for a data audit firm to create extensive digital backups stored on their own systems? How does the government determine whether the backups are excessive in scope? Second, excessive time. Why do the amendments not penalize permitted people from holding on to copies of government records for excessive amount of time? Surely, we all agree that even IT auditors shouldn't be holding on to confidential government records for longer than necessary. Copies of government records held in excessive scope for excessive time increase the likelihood and severity of data leaks and data misuse. I hope the government will take strong action to ensure vital government records are used and copied in a responsible way. My third point today is about tax deduction for landlords. In this COVID-19 crisis, more than before, Singaporeans have learned the immense powers landlords have over commercial tenants. Commercial tenants have gone out of business as they struggle to pay their rent. Many groups such as the Restaurant Association of Singapore, the Singapore Tenants United for Fairness have spoken in chorus about the lack of flexibility from landlords. The government has tried our best to urge landlords to do the right thing, But the pleas have often fallen on deaf ears. As a result, in the past year and a half, this House has to pass laws compelling landlords to provide rental waivers, to allow penalty-free termination of rentals, and most recently, to match rental support provided by the government. In this context, the purpose of the new Section 14ZH is unclear. It seems to encourage a somehow perverse situation where a landlord can evict a failed tenant and then pay reduced tax on their rental income. Why should landlords receive financial incentives when they evict a tenant and keep the property vacant? The outcome is a net loss for society as productive land is left unused. In addition, how will IRAS ascertain whether a landlord has made reasonable efforts to find a new tenant during the vacancy period? This loosely defined clause appears to be the only check in these amendments against the scenario I've just described. It will be important to clarify how IRAS intends to implement it and guard against bad faith actors. Madam, notwithstanding my clarifications, I stand in support of the bill.